weil ich es frisch wie jetzt, will ich sich nicht mehr falsam sein. Sich verspätigt in Beis Medrash, so, ja. Weil ich es frisch wie jetzt, will ich sich nicht mehr falsam sein.
Yeah. Okay, so Shin Lamed Gimel. Actually, it's funny because the title here is almost like a little bit megumgum. It doesn't actually express exactly what they talk about everything. But Taseicher es apayil. Well, apayil lachzer kedim shehischel yacher kein, which is funny because it's only expressing part of what's going to be in the siman, right? Somebody who he employs a worker, and the worker wants to retract, either before he started working or after he started working. It's just interesting that this is the summary of it, because it's not only talking about Misad Seicher, it's talking about also if the Balabas wants to be chayzen on it. So Sif Aleph Sif Aleph. Seicher es apeyalim v'hito es balabais. Oy balabais hita isam. Right, so Pashat, like we learned in the Sikumin, what is that somebody he hires workers and they tricked him, meaning they didn't show up, or he tricked them, meaning when they did show up, but then when they show up, he says snishtokin arbit. Ein lohem ze al ze ella tarumis. So they don't have anything on each other besides the satisfaction, meaning they don't have a monetary claim against each other. Zog this the smer.
Ja.
Ella tarumis. Losh natur. This is what the Tur says. Eizem ahen shebot lachzir. Any of them who wants to retract harishus biyadei, he's allowed to. Sheyachal leimar abalabayis lepeyo, that the balabas can say to the worker, Haskir atzmecha b'mokim acher, go hire for yourself in somewhere else. Hire another guy. Or sorry, go. This is the balabai says to the payil. Haskir atzmecha b'mokim acher, go get yourself hired out somewhere else. Find a different job. The payil yema the balabais, and the payil will say to him, go find yourself a different worker. Right, so nobody lost anything really monetarily. Right, because you have to put, now you made me go through the trouble of finding either someone else to work, or the other way around, you made me go through the trouble of finding another work. The Kosafti Prisha says this. I wrote in Prisha, the Mimasha Kosovo Reshus B'Yodi Elachzir, from the wording of the Torah, that he has permission to retract the mashma, the leis bei afilu mishum mechusri amona, that he's not even considered from this. I mean, he's not even considered mechusri amona. Because what's mechusri amona? Mechusri amona means technically you're not chayiv. You're not chayiv from a monetary standpoint, but you've made yourself untrustable. You're doing the wrong thing. You're still doing something wrong. But the lashon of the Tur is harishus b'yodei. No problem. You're allowed to do it. So it's mashma. He's allowed to do it, and he's doing nothing wrong. And if you're doing nothing wrong, so obviously you're not mechusar amona. The svira lei, the lei amru kain elok shechezim midvarav B'davar she'ein le'teyelis. That he holds that we don't say this. I guess we don't say that you're a mechusar amana. Besides for when you're going back on something that basically leaves the other guy high and dry. In this case, you're not leaving the guy high and dry. He can easily go and here hire that guy over there, or the other, or the other way around. Here, the guy down the block he needs someone working. Go over there and work. What's the problem? So fine, it's a little more trouble. So you're annoying me because I thought we had it all lined up, and now I have to go and line up another thing. But he can line it up. He's not left high and dry. Mechusar amana, we talk about when you've done something, even though there's no straight up monetary damage, but that you've done something that leaves a person in a situation.
Can I ask you a question? What does it mean over here, literally, "B'davar she'ein bo to'eres"? What does that mean?
Doing something that you can't fix. It's not fixable. I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
I have an antique vase, right? And we make a verbal deal, no money, no kinyan. And then I go back on it. So
Who goes back? The seller or the buyer?
doesn't make
Either.
a difference either way.
Yeah. Okay.
But especially, let's say, the seller, because it makes more sense for the mushal. And now I go back on it. This is an antique vase. It's a one of a kind. You can't find it somewhere else. In Beit Elis, I can't tell you go down the road and get this vase. The guy down the road has the same vase for the same price. So
that's not fixable. That's like you're messing the guy up.
Or at the very least, it's not easily fixable. Here, and of course, remember, we're going under the assumption that in this case, that the other guy can easily get hired out, or that you can find another worker, or whatever it is, right? Because it's different if you can't. But here, it's here you go down the road. The guy down there needs schlepping just like I need schlepping. What's the difference? So fine, yeah, it's a trouble. You're upset at me because I'm making you go down the road to go ask that guy for work. But
So "ein bo to'eres" means that there's no remedy to it. No remedy for it. No real remedy.
Literally, it means no remedy. But the truth is, even if there is a remedy, but I think in the context, because for example, a mechusar amana, if we make a deal on something and technically you could fix it, but it means there's no easy fix. I think in the context here, it means no easy fix, even though he's not saying that in his words, but in his words he just says that's no fixing at all. It sounds like, but the pale we see that in other words, it doesn't have to be mamish unfixable, but here he has an easy fix. If there's no easy fix, then he's a mechusar amana. Ramzal Le'il Seif Simin Reish Dalit, the Ramah in the end of Reish Dalit, the Kishinish, right? When we're talking there about Inoas Dvarim, the Kishinishtana Hashar Leis Bei Mishum Mechutz Amana. That when the price, you know what? I think it means something else here. But David Shein Tayelis, what he means is he's not getting anything out of it.
That's what I thought originally, but it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, so now, yeah, but it didn't to me either. That's why I didn't say it that way. But now you'll see based on what the Ramah is saying, I think that makes sense because he's talking about nishtana hashar leis be mishum mechusar amana. What says because nishtana hashar, now there's a benefit to me because the price changed. I can get it for cheaper. So chaba atayel is from them.
So I have like what he's saying. I have like a kind of like a benefit out of it.
There's a reason.
I'm benefiting out of quitting.
Yeah, yeah. I have a good reason for
You have a sibba why you're quitting. It's
that.
not
Yeah,
it's not here. We want to determine that there's no rishus involved over here.
yeah.
If you're Stama Russia, you
Right,
just
you're
try
mechusar
to
money. You're a guy who walks around and
that
you pull back out of things.
makes
But
sense.
you
Now it
pull
makes
out for a
sense.
good reason. Then okay. Then you're not mechusar money. I don't want to get gypped.
That could be. It could be also. You can make it because you found out that your brother's coming in town, and you have to pick him up. That should be
Right, right.
so. In order to
I'm not a mechusar money. My situation changed.
yeah.
I didn't stop make a deal, and from the first place, a mechusar amana meant you're the kind of person who makes a deal, and from the first place, you had no intention of honoring it. Here, he had an intention of So by there, the Ramah says Kinishtana Hashar when the market price changed. There's no you're not a mechusar amana. V'hachinami kishechezer balabais mishum she'in tzarich lehem. Oh, shenimtzu peilim bezeliases. So the same thing here. He's not going back because he didn't have he wasn't planning on honoring it in the first place. But either he doesn't need them, he realized he doesn't need them now, or he found workers that are cheaper. Well, if he's sham, and according to this, that those who argue on that there, right? Because there are those that hold that even if there's a reason, he's still mechusar amana. Why? Because you made a deal. I something changed. You still, yeah, you gave somebody your word. So it's not his problem. Your situation changed. Sorry. Like the Ramah himself says there. So those chilkim gam kan, those they argue also here. So that they argue what that he is a mechusar amana, even if he had a reason. So hang on a second. So then, what do they mean? Mashakosov ein lohem ela taromes. So what does it mean? They only have dissatisfaction. You're a mechusar amana. It's not coming to exclude that you're a mechusar amana. Bistaka
Yeah.
mechusar amana.
Yeah.
What does it mean? Ein ela taromes, meaning there's no you're taka wrong and you're taka mechusar amana, but there's no compensation required. There's no monetary.
Okay. Avada Nevada, it goes without saying that Avada Nevada, it goes without saying that we're not talking about over here a case of an oinus why you had to back out. I'm
All right,
100%
no.
sure
It's not about talking about an einus like
because an oinus, you're not
yeah.
according to everybody, you're not.
If you were kidnapped by Cossacks and you couldn't make it there because you were tied up,
Even less than that. You get a phone call.
then
You have to pick up your parents from the airport. You could call an Uber for it. The Tata hat es nicht lieb. I don't think. I think it's pure. A pure. What do we say? Like either
meaning it's talking about when your benefit from it is financial.
yeah, financial, exactly. Then then you're a
Einus,
Mona.
Einus is definitely not. It's only going to be a question of where do you draw the line on what's an Einus or not.
What you could dispute with me is in a case of negligence, batlonishkeit. You just wake up late, whatever. Stam a geschleppter Meister. If that's mechutz ramona, maybe
Right.
it means
So that would you not maybe would you call that onus? No,
no, but
subject, not onus.
it could be it's subject
By the
to
way, even picking up the parents from the airport, I would say the same thing like we said by rentals, by giving a hiddah. Wait, so if it's like, let's say it's an emergency,
Yeah,
right? Ich weiß, chas v'shalom, somebody's in the hospital and somebody's flying. Somebody calls you, they're flying from out of town. Can you pick them up in the airport? Okay, you had no way of knowing this before. But if you know
yeah,
2 weeks before your parents are flying that day, and oh, I have to pick up my parents, but you knew about that 2 weeks ago, then it's negligence. Then it wouldn't be called an anus.
right, right.
It depends on the situation, but yeah. Meaning if you take if something came up, right? Even say it's not life and death, right? Just stam, something came up.
Yeah,
But if you had a way of knowing before,
you could then you should
then
have
you're
dealt
right,
with
then it's
it.
on you. You're negligent. You already know about this thing.
Right, you should have dealt with it accordingly, and you didn't. And
Right.
then that's so. How are we going to finally? How are we going to consolidate this? How are we going to learn the two ways of of the yeshchok, the regular and the yeshchok?
Oh, so one way is that is 1 second over here is that
There has to be a benefit.
one one
Why he?
one way is like this. If the guy he realizes he doesn't have work, he thought he had work, he doesn't have work,
Yeah.
or he found somebody cheaper, these kind of things.
So there's some sort of a benefit, financial or
Yeah.
otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So according
Then
so
it's no mechus ramona.
right.
That's not good.
Of course,
Because he's coming with a viable
according to that,
reason.
so that's according to the tour,
Yeah.
and which is and the first Yashemirim in the Ramah there in Reish Dalid by
Right.
yeah. According to the second Yashemirim in the Ramah there, I'm sorry, you're still mechus ramana. I take something came up, or you could have saved money, this and that, but you gave somebody your word. Oh, now somebody cheaper came up, you're dropping your word. That's a mechus ramana according to the second Yashemirim in the
Because
Ramah.
mechus ramona really means unreliable person.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what it means.
right, but it's
Oh, but it
it's
depends what do you mean by unreliable.
both in reputation and in financial ramifications.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm looking to lease a car, and you
Yeah.
deal with leases, and somebody else deals with leases. And about him, I hear he's a mechusar amon, and about you, I hear you're reliable.
You're gonna want to go with reliable.
I'll take a not as good deal from you as a better deal, faster than a better deal from him because he's a mechusar amon. I don't trust him. I'd rather I'm getting not quite the same deal, but I know what the deal you're telling me, this is what it's going to be.
Let me ask you a question. A
Because
person
mechusar amon,
comes to rent from
oh, he's
you.
unreliable. It's not a small thing.
A person comes to rent from you a car. Your rental rates per day is $70 a day, right?
Okay.
And I said I'm gonna come and pick it up. Then you make a phone call and you see that somebody else is doing it for $50 a day.
Yeah.
So you back out.
So according to the first Yashemrim,
It's perfectly
also the Tur and the Mechaber, the
you're
whole
perfectly okay.
no problem.
Yeah,
According to the second Yashemrim,
yeah.
so what? You found a better deal. You gave him your word already. You should first have looked for a better deal and whatever. Now
You should have done that before. Okay.
the word.
According to that, the second shot, what is
By the
considered?
way, interestingly, the Alter Rebbe,
Yeah.
lahalacha, he holds like the main opinion, but then he bavarins as afilu hachi afilu lahalacha. Right? You're not mechusar amone. A person should be very careful that b'shum pan ve'efen, whenever at all possible, he should not break his word, even for saving money or whatever.
Can I ask you a question? So according to the second reason, what is considered okay? What is not according to the
Einus would be okay. And einus as what can I done?
So how would you learn the mechaber? Hasoiches apoelim itus enoela tarumas, but only financial not, but you still bechusar
You
amona.
can read it both ways.
Yeah. I
You can read
understand.
it either according to the first Yeshemrim Elatarumes, have mamish nothing but tarumes. Kipshute, nothing but tarumes. The
Right.
second way, you could say ein al that he is a mechusar amone, but from a
Yeah.
financial perspective, ein al elatarumes. La fuke a monetary claim.
Right. I understand that.
So that's
Okay.
that's the two ways you could read it.
Okay. It is. This is the way we're going to learn it.
Right. So here, so like it says in this meh. Umashakosov ein lohem elatarumes, right? According to the second Yeshemrim, Rotzalim la fuki tvias mamin. Avar memechusri amona gam keninhu. But that you do have. It's not la fuki that. According to the first Yeshemrim it is, but the second one no. V'ha de ein lahem tvias mamin zelze. He's boy besif she'achar zeh dahainu davke kishaloi gara machizer hezek va'idach. Right? We're talking about this that we're talking about. He has no monetary claim. This is not talking about. That's talking about when all they had was an agreement.
Yeah.
Which, and in that case, there's no money, there's no monetary damages, so you have no monetary claim. If there was monetary damages, like we're going to learn later, like he started to he already went on the way. He rented he rented equipment. He rented a car for the job. These things now there's a monetary damage, and now there's taka he has a monetary claim. But in this case, we're talking about just they had an agreement. That's as far as it went. Shach Aleph Ela Tarumis. So just like he brings the same lashon atur. Sheyochel balabos leimer lapeil haskrat mechem machir v'gam apeil leimer balabos say uschei l'chapeil achir. Right, each one could say this one could say to that one, "What's the big deal? Go down the block, find yourself another job." The other one could say to that one, "What's the big deal? Go down the block and find yourself another worker." Ella sheyesh ala chezer taromes b'shvil hatereach, but he has hard feelings that he put him to that trouble. Adkam l'shein hatur. This is the words of the tur. V'hu midivrei harosh. And this is the Tur is taking this from the words of the Rosh. Umash ma milsheinam shekosu b'shvil hatereach demishum shinei daitam leiko. That it's not. He's not upset about him for changing his mind. He's changed about him that he's putting him to the trouble of finding a new thing. The af al gav de il simin shin yud alif sivav gabi sfina kosav harosh vatur v'mechaber de yesh olav taromis mishum shinei daitam the ish achir that even over there they said that what's their hard feelings about their bad feelings about the fact that the other guy changed his mind. Shiny Hassam there is different. Kivon sheparke bechatzi haderech ukvar hirgil atzmei chatzi haderech ma'ashenkin hachak shechez miyad. That there they were already halfway through the way. And so he already got used to it half the way. Whereas here, it's already he's changing his mind right at the outset. So he hasn't gotten used to this job yet. He didn't start working it yet. So let's say there's no tircha at all, right? You what's it called? You called the guy, say, okay, I'm getting ready to head out to come to you to work, and say, actually, I don't have work for you. What do you mean you don't have work for me? He said yesterday. He goes, yeah, but something changed, whatever. He says, but you know what? Go next door to me. I spoke to that guy. He has work for you. Then there's not even taromes. because he easily found another thing without any tircha. Right? And this is different than the case in the case there. The case there, it's already halfway through, and he already got used to it, and he's upset that the guy is now changing things on him. I got used to this situation. Here, you don't have that. He's not used to the situation. He didn't start working yet, and like we learn later, it means he didn't even start going to the work. Elamai, the tarom is b'shul zeh that you're being tereachim. Now he has to go and start looking around for another work, or for another worker. But if it's easy to find, and there's no
Even Terumas nicht.
then yeah, then there's no taromis.
So maybe that's a diuk of the Shulchan Aruch. Eino elo tarumas, elo means, and maybe even tarumas also not. Elo, at the most.
Right, at the most, yeah, like
at the most, yes,
yeah,
tarumas.
yeah, masking. Yeah. Right, yeah, take. That's
You know what I'm saying?
the Mechaber's words fit in very good here. Yeah.
Otherwise, not only eno la tarumas, that money, that's the way we learned originally. Eno la tarumas und nicht Geld. Verstehst? Ich will noch mehr sagen. At the very most you could have is, I think, we cannot.
Yeah.
I'm not taking it away from the other pshat, Chas v'shalom. The other pshat is more.
It fits good.
Yeah.
And by the way, and you can fit it into the second Yeshem Brim too.
Yeah.
From let's put Mechusar Amon aside altogether.
Yeah.
From a monetary perspective, the most you could have on him is taromis.
Right.
V'chein kosav anemuki Yosef perek omni.
But exactly, monetary perspective, because the truth is, if you start looking at Mechusar Amona, das ist noch mehr wie Tarumas, verstehst?
Yeah.
Da wollte ich gepasst zu sagen als Sache. You know what I'm saying? So talking about that the Shulchan Aruch is talking about Enona Tarumas is as far as taking out money from him, you can't. The most you could have complaints against him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How do you say there's a better word than complaints?
Like hard feelings.
Yeah.
I'm not happy with you.
Yeah.
Right? He goes to work, and the balabais.
Grievances. That's the word I was looking.
Yeah.
Grievance.
Oh, very good. Grievance.
Grievances, because there's a grievance. You know, like I think so.
Yeah, like what's it called? Yeah, I have a.
There's an English word like that.
I have what's it called? Yeah, exactly.
I have grievances.
I don't have a monetary tie on you. I've stomach tie on you.
Yeah, tiny is a grievance. Okay, very good.
Okay. What are
you saying? What are you saying now?
It's the third to last of the skinny lines in the shach.
Yeah. Okay. The Moshe Chafilu the part of that one.
It's the line starts Ein Lohen Olav Elo Taromis. And the end of the line is V'chein Kosva Nemuki. Well, I don't know if you have the same surah as
yeah. I one second. Let me see. You're saying
it's in shach at 1.
Yeah, let me say, one second. One second, I lost you. לפי זה, היכן דאין כאן תלכה כגון שמציעים בלבוס אחר להזכיר את עצמן או פקרת, אין להם אלא אפילו תרומה. זה כוסף הנימוקי יוסף, פרק האומרים. Yeah?
Yeah, that's a rolling.
Yeah, פרק האומרים גבי דזול אביצו וחויזר בלבוס.
Yeah, I think it means he went to work when he went to work already, and the balabas retracts when he went to work already, mamish, which is a worst case, right? This case, we're talking about he didn't go to work yet.
The Zol means the Ozal, maybe, no? The Ozal
No,
Avit, he
I
went.
think it's like the Ozal, yeah.
Yeah, the Avit of a Choizer Balabos.
He already went to work, and then the balabas retracts after he's already working, which is a more stringent case.
Yeah, because there's an element of Tircha,
Where's the tircha? It's mamash has started working already.
בשם אחרינים, בשם הרמב"ן, זה לשוני, אינמי מצינן לאוקמל כשחוזר בוי בלבוס, אפילו לאחר שהזכירו במלוכה, ולא חזור את הקבלונים. כגון שמויצי הקבלונים מלוכה אחרת, שיכולים להסתכל בהם כדאמריני לקמון, גבי הסויכר, אסספינו, ופורקו בחצי הדרך, דאי משכחס, דאגורוי אין לוי אולו, אפילו תרומוס איך נישט.
All right, if he find if so he's talking about here. He's saying, I'll tell you, Nachmer, not just before he started the work.
ואחר כך פייסוהו, כיוון דאין אולו,
The
אפילו תרומוס.
balabas go retracts, right? Even though the workers didn't, they're willing to keep working.
Yeah.
The balabas retracts. They started working already. What do you mean? How do you retract?
Right.
But
So
if
he gave him something else to do.
but mamish right next door. Look, there's another construction project. Here, go work for this guy. He's hiring. He'll pay you the same thing. What's the difference?
So he's mephias him like that, he
Even in
says.
that case, there's no tarumis, even though you started working already, which is more stringent. Like we see by the ship. What was the whole thing by the ship?
Le'agoira means ein lo yalo afilu tarumas.
Yeah. You don't even
That's
have tarumis. Why? Because there was no tircha bichlal.
right.
Here next door, the guy is hiring. He'll take you right now. I'm letting you go. Walk next door. Here's a job. Same pay. Same type of job. Everything. Then there's no taromis. What do you have bad feelings about? There's no tircha legamri, and he supports this from the case of the ship. That by the case of the ship, where it's more than just a tircha.
Porco pechatia derech. Halfway, it made a U-turn or what?
Or he tells them change ships at this dock. Go find a different ship for the rest of the way.
Deimishkach le'aguro ein lo yalo afilu tarumas.
Yeah, that if he finds what's la gura? I don't know.
No, I think it means to say with the guy who hired the ship.
Meaning he decided to live there or something. He decided to stay in this place.
Where in its destination?
Let's see, let's see. 1 second.
Is this a Ramban or something?
It is. There is a Ramban on it, but let me just see what's the. Aleph. Let me see. Where's this 79? Okay. Here we go. Here's the Gemara.
How do you pick it up?
What? The Gemara right here.
Yeah. Oh, you Googled it or what?
Yeah, I just pulled up on Safari. I pulled up the Gemara.
Wait, you put the first few words and that was it?
I put Bava Metzia 79b.
Okay.
Tanu Rabbanon. Haseicher es asfina.
Yeah.
Birakala bechatzi haderech. Right? I rent a ship, and then halfway through the journey, right? Let's say at one of the stops, I see there's a good market there, so I unload my stuff.
So he was paying his luggage there, his wares.
Yeah, he takes and meaning and that's it. I'm telling the guy, that's it, I'm done.
Prika means
I'm
to
going to
unload. Prika means unload. So he
he
unloaded.
knows it half the way, and the guy says, "Wait a second, but you hired me, to take you to California, not to
Yeah.
not to Kansas." So,
So
so
what? So
the
what?
Bala,
What?
so the Balasfin is telling him, "Pay me for the whole trip,"
And he's answering back.
and he's saying, "No, because I only traveled with you half the way."
Yeah, but you messed me up. You know.
So what's the halacha? He noisin loischori al chatzi haderech. He gives him the schar for only the party traveled. The ain't like all of elatarimus, and he only has on him. Interesting. The translation is also a grievance.
Grievances, yeah.
Grievance, yeah, nothing but a grievance, yeah.
So
Hey,
why he doesn't have to pay him the rest? He's messing him up.
actual damages because
Why can he get another passenger? Is that the reason why?
no,
Because that has been the criteria till now. You know.
yeah, he can find somebody else. You're right.
Because then you understand why he says, en la tarumas, because Geld hat nicht, he doesn't have money complaints.
Okay, here's here's the Gemara further. So the Gemara asks, hang on a second. If we say he can find another renter, so why does he have a grievance against him? If he can't find another renter, then he should have to pay him the whole thing because he damaged him, like you just said.
Yeah.
So you damaged him, pay the whole thing. If he
That's
can't
what's
find
going.
another renter,
That was my question, effectively.
if he can find another renter, so why do you have even a grievance?
Right.
So there's a few answers. One of them is because it's more wear and tear on the boat because he's unloading it and the other guy is reloading his stuff.
Well, that's financial. That's financial. That's not just a headache.
But it's right. Oh, and that's the Gemara answers. Very good. He says, "What do you mean extra wear and tear on the ship? That's monetary. So that's not taremis." Ella my. So, anyways, what it comes down is Ella my taremis mishum shinui daita.
I know what that means. When you change your mind, it causes tsar to the other person.
Yeah, because he already had the whole thing set up. He had the whole thing lined up already.
You're causing an inconvenience to him.
Right.
That afterwards he's able to make up for it financially.
Right.
Doesn't take away from the Agmas Nefesh that he has from the whole Geschichte. From changing your mind, it changes the whole perspective of his plans. It puts him off. As in English, you say you throw him off guard.
Right.
That's why he's to pay.
Yeah.
The throwing him off guard is the tarumas.
Right. That's you. It's like he already had his whole day figured out.
Exactly. That's why. So, שיכול להסתכל במילה דקבסוכס הספינו פורקו בחצי די משכח להגוירו אין אויבר hot lagoira. Demishkach lagoira means if you find somebody else to rent
But
the thing,
another
another passenger, right?
passenger. Yeah, a passenger. Yeah.
Right. Ein loy elo afilu tarumas, right? V'achar paisu
Right. That's
given
the
the ein
question.
all of elo afilu tarumas. But according to Yosemi right now, that it got him off guard. It is a shikol tarumas, no, or
Yeah.
not?
No. Yeah. What he's saying here, the imishkach lagura. This the question in the Gemara was if he finds somebody else,
Yeah.
then why should he have
Oh, that's a
that
question.
tarumas
Yeah,
on him?
it's not benichusa. It's bitmia, right?
Oh,
The
right.
eve
That's the
is
question in the Gemara.
alaguro eno alav afilu tarumas the
Right. So
chayra.
why should he have tarumas even on him? Right.
Right. Achach paisua given the ein olav. 1 second. So, but the achar kach is not part of the Gemara.
No.
So what's the answer over there? The Gemara says, Gemara. What's the maskana? Why tarumas? Elo taruma is because of shinu das
Yeah.
mishum shinu das.
Yeah, so then I think it means paisuk, even the tarum is that he's appeasing him with the answer of Shinidas.
You're not being mefias the balabos with shinu das.
No,
You're aggravating the balabos with
no.
shinu
I
das.
think he's being mefias the one in the Gemara who asked that question of Ein Olav Afilu Tarumis. He's being mefias him by answering
Yeah.
that but the Shinidas, that's the problem.
Okay, so surely there should be an element of tarumas over here, no, with shinu das or not?
So the Shinidas is the Tarumis. That's why there's a Tarumis over there.
Yeah.
Okay. So now
The question in the Gemara is like this: if he can't find anybody else, he's got him in hezek, so it's monetary.
there's money. Well, it was. So what are you telling me? Ain't no yellow tarumis.
Right. If he finds somebody else, so there's no problem. So the Gemara says,
Right.
yeah, talk about a case where he found somebody else, except the tarumas is a shinu das.
Right. There's that.
Given.
Right. Yeah, now you have to make
Is given. Yeah, no,
whatever. It was a hassle.
the hassle. Okay.
There was no. So there was no monetary loss.
It's koyach. It's very good.
But
Okay.
it was all hassle. He had it all lined up already, and now you made him have to refigure it.
Okay, very good then. I got to show you. Benida shehu befarish shinui daitum gabe sfina ketepirash Rashi.
Right. The leishayich rak abisfina.
Ein shom.
Right. So it must be that's what the Nemuki Yosef is talking about.
He says only
Why?
by sfina.
Wait, why? Because look over here. Over here, he says that if the balabas was chayzer, even after they started the work,
Yeah.
if they could find other work,
There's not even
and there's no taremis even.
even.
Right. So he says
Why my question to you, I know that this is I can see a little bit of a difference, but I want to hear it from you. Why in the case of the ship there is shinui das is goyrem tarumas.
no. So that
Undonish.
But that's the question. That's the question of the shach.
Yeah.
That's what he's
Can I?
So wait a second. So by Sfina we see the Shina
Shinu
so why here in this case he's bringing from the Ramban?
Yeah.
Why we're not saying the same thing? It's.
I haven't looked inside. I will tell you off the bat. I think it's kedai to abyssal. Of course, you can differentiate. Avada. By a ship, you're much more vulnerable. You are like in the middle of a trip. So maybe over there, I would say that it's agmas nefesh, it's tarumas. But when you're working on, it's just next door and this and that. I think maybe the
Right. Well,
worry.
and I think the Shach already some kind of answered it before by himself.
I think over here it's
Right?
less
Because
of a
he already
worry.
says, because
Yeah,
the Shach already said before, shiny hosam, kivan sheporka bachatzi haderech.
that's it. You know what I'm
Hosam
saying?
in miyad. That's also a difference. I think
That's
I,
it.
I think that's gonna be the Shach's two answers. One of them is gonna be like you're saying,
Yeah,
which is Rashi.
really.
Rashi says, but by a ship is different. This
Yeah,
thing of this idea of shinui das
yeah,
is miyucha to a ship. A ship is a different situation, like you're saying. A ship,
yeah.
you're in the middle of a ship. It's a shinui das in the middle of
It's much more involved, and it's the middle of a dead. It's like much more.
you rented
Know,
where you rented me out for a trip to California. Now mitamo, we're middle of Texas, and you're telling me you're done. What do you mean? Now I
if
can
you get
find
thrown,
a
if you
guy
get thrown off a ship because of misbehavior, it's
yeah,
much more of a problem
yeah,
than if you get thrown off a
right,
bar. You know
right,
what I'm saying? Because you go bar, you walk, you get yourself to the next bar. But a
yeah,
ship, you're stranded,
right.
and here the balabos is still stranded without a guy.
Right, the other way around too, right? These things
Abada.
all go both ways. So
I
okay,
think
now
that
we're
I think
here.
that's I think
Well,
that's
okay, so
Rashi. I think
so now
that's
you're telling me
Rashi.
I have to go find another, like not only that. So now I have exactly enough supply. I have enough supplies to make it to California and back. Now I have to find the guy who needs to go to California.
That's why the vulnerability of a ship makes it different than
Yeah,
than the case of
right. So
a.
that's
I
Pirush
think
Rashi.
that's that. I think that's what the Kabbalah is over here.
Yeah, so that's Pirush Rashi. Venira, Shul Mefarish, Shinu Daitem, Gabi Svini, Pirush Rashi. The Loi Shayach Ra Gabi Svina. Like you're saying, a ship is a different is a unique situation.
Yeah,
By workers, it's not that hard.
because you're vulnerable
Yeah.
when you have a ship. It's like it's
By the way, what the Shach is trying to figure out here
yeah.
is why are we pushing to say that the that his taremis here is because of tircha? Why don't we say like there? It's shinui das. So first answer is this is because our ship is different. By here you
Yeah.
can't say shinui das, and therefore we're forced to find a different reason, which is tircha, right? Inami, or alternatively,
Or because you want to narrow it down to the ship, to the case of the ship.
well we have to figure out what's different with the ship because otherwise why here aren't we using the same reason? Why don't we just say that his grievance is because of the shinui das? Why? What? Instead, here we're saying it's because of tircha. Well, we should have said shinidas. So he says, so it must be that you can't say that this case is different than the case of the ship. So the first answer is, like you said, is that a ship is intrinsically different.
Yeah.
In
Kachmir.
I mean, and even if you don't want to say that, let's say we don't hold by Rashi, who holds that a ship is intrinsically different. So you can still say that Benimuki Yosef Mairi Bishilayu Hurgali Moimadayan. Even though by the case of the Nimuki Yosef, where we're talking about that the owner the owner he changed his mind on the worker after he started working already, right? But he wasn't working so long that he got used to working there.
Even though it was in the middle of the ship, in middle of the
Oh,
trip.
by the ship, one of the explanations to why there's the shinui das is the problem is because he got used to it on the first half of the trip. So he says, "Adalam mizagin azavi Rashi, a ship is intrinsically different. Adar afilu mevil nizagin azavi Rashi." the Nemuki Yosef could be talking about a different case where he started working there, but he wasn't.
Where in the ship?
No, the case of the Nemuki Yosef was the case of the guy who let them go,
Yeah.
right?
And they found the thing next door, right? They
Yeah,
found the work next
yeah,
door.
yeah. And he's trying to figure out why that Nemuki Yosef isn't just lined. Why don't we just line it up with a ship? So either we could say the Nemuki Yosef holds like Rashi, that a ship is different, and therefore in this case the Nemuki Yosef, really it's the Nemuki Yosef quoting the Ramban. So but in this case the Ramban holds like Rashi that a ship,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Uh, Something else? No.
by Kablonim, no. Or let's say he doesn't hold by that Asha, we can still enfer up that what that in the case that he's talking about there, unlike the ship where Hurgol is Atzmei, here we're talking about he was working. Ataka, he started working already, but he was working for a very short period. He didn't get used to it yet. Whereas by the ship, he got used to it. He already went half the trip with him.
So Firois, now how does that work out? If
So,
you-
so,
if
so,
you're
so now same thing. So now you have to find a different reason. You can't say, right? Meaning the case that we're talking about, he wasn't Hudgul Satzma yet already.
in
By
the
the way, the
case
nafkamina, the nafkamina.
in the case of dry land, he was not Hurgal himself.
In the case, yeah. So he's saying, meaning it.
And
Let's
therefore, what do you
meaning
want to try to
let's play
say?
devil's advocate. Let's play
Yeah.
devil's advocate, and let's hold that the Nemuki Yosef and the Ramban there don't hold by Rashi, and they hold that a ship is not intrinsically different. We could still say that the case that the Nemuki Yosef is talking about is in a case that loy hurgoles atzmei. Now there's an afkamina, because what if he's a worker on dry land and the hurgoles atzmei? So
Yeah.
if you go according to Rashi, it would still be not the same,
Yeah, because
because
the kude is dry land and ship.
right.
That's the
But if you say the other way, then if hurgol is atzmei, it would be the same, because you're not holding that sfina is different.
yeah. So Bekitzer, Rashi holds the criteria over here is whether it's dry land or ship. That by ship yeshel tarumas and by dry land not.
Yeah, because there's a shinui das is a bigger
Yeah.
deal.
So Shinu Das only works, and according to the Nemuka Yosef, how are you gonna that time? That if it comes to dry land,
So dry land is not a ship. It's not shinui das, doesn't make a difference. That's the first one. The second one is that taka, they would be the same, but we're talking about two different situations. By the ship, he's already settled himself into there for half the journey. And here we're talking about where he only worked for a very short period. He didn't get used to it.
and therefore there's no tarumas
There's
when
no
there's
taromas, because the shinui das doesn't bother him, because he wasn't hurgul to the work yet. He didn't get used to it yet. Fine. So Olefiza, according to this tzarich leimar, we have to say that hod isa b'shas perek umnin daf ein vav amid beis aval im yesh peyelim lisched v'omar tzeu sched me'elu, that if the worker tells the balabas, here, there's workers right here, go and hire one of them. What's the problem? Ein lo alein ela tarumis. He doesn't have on him besides for a grievance. Hainu davke balabas ala peyalim. This is davke when the balabas is telling this to the workers, but not the other way around. Why? Mishum she'ein derech balabas litreach v'lisker peyalim acherim av shemeiti lisker. Because it's not the usual way for a balabas to go and find other workers when he has workers already. Avol im hapeyalim meitzim balabais acher if the workers find another balabas to make a parnasa from, ein lohen olav afilu tarumes, then he doesn't have on him even a complaint.
Was sagt er?
He's saying that based on this, essentially, you have to read in the Gemara that when it says that if other work is easily available, he doesn't have even a complaint. That means that the workers don't have a complaint on the balabas, but the balabas would have a complaint on them. Why? Because it's usual for workers to go and if there's next door there's other work, to take the other work is usual for them. But it's less usual for a balabas when he has workers to have to go and find other workers.
It's more betircha.
Yeah. So in such a case, you'd have when it's saying that he has a grievance, it's talking about that the balabas has a grievance on the workers, not the workers on the balabas. In a case where it's easy to where it's an easy market and you can find other people and it's easy to find jobs.
So the balabos is more vulnerable, you're saying?
Yeah.
This is and we're talking about in a regular case, right? You're talking about a regular case of
the workers
when they quit on the balabos. It's interesting because from the mechaber and the tur and the gemara, it's not mashma that it's any difference backwards or forwards.
Yeah.
It seems like it's tough on him or tough on him.
Yeah.
Although it definitely makes sense what it says over here, that it's much more
right. However, well, if he's that tzarich leimar, had the isa no, we said that already. Aval, however, mimashe kosov.
was ist sogar oder ich was aber im יש פועלים לזכור ואומר לו יצא ושכור מאלו אבל אם יש פועלים לזכור ואומר what does that mean? If there is פועלים to ואומר צא ושכור מאלו, who's saying who say?
Which part are we here?
Well, you're going to read right now. Ufi זה צורך לא אמר עוד איסה בש"ס.
So you have to say that, according to this, you have to say, right, that if there's other workers, right, there's other workers, and they tell the balabas, go and get different workers. There's workers right here. Go take one of these other workers.
Who's saying that?
The workers.
The workers that tell the balabas take kach me'elu.
He tells the balabas, take from these other workers.
אבל אם יש פועלים לזכור ואומר הפועל, you mean the
poil said, yeah.
The poil said,
go hire one of these guys.
Instead of me, ein loy aleihem el
tarumas. He doesn't have a monetary claim, but he does have a grievance. Right. The balabas has a grievance. But the other way around, the balabas tells him, here, go, the guy next door has work for you. Ein lohem olav afilo tarumes. They have not even grievances on him. Even a grievance they don't have.
What's happening over here? That the balabos,
so it depends. There's two cases here.
Yeah. This case that we're reading right now.
Told the workers, go next door and get work.
That's
case they don't even have a grievance because it's the normal way.
Yeah.
Other
But for
hand,
the
if the person
boss
tells the
to start
balabas, hire these guys next door, the balabas does have a grievance. So in the end, that's how the Nemuki Yosef is learning this whole sugya.
Okay, what do we do now? Do we
Now
say
we're gonna compare that Nemuki Yosef to
yeah?
our Abed here.
Okay.
Abba mimashikos
אלו אפילו תרומת. אבל מה שכוסוף,
Aravamagid
פרק טס, מסחירוס בשרמב"ן, ברשב"א, דאם היו
Kashba
מוצאים
the imo
להצטער,
from the stakid ein lohen alav elataromes. Why shahari who oimerit seva skirut atzmechem b'chulu v'chein kosav hamechaber b'siv beis. And the next sif the mechaber uses this lashon, and if you look at the lashon mashma the taromis miho ikol peilim shel al balabais. So you can see they're not holding like this Nemuki Yosef, because their lashon sounds like what the Payalim are saying.
yeah.
Balabas, it sounds like they do have a grievance on him. They're like Nemuki Yosef, and not like the Nemuki Yosef. V'chein mashma miyat mashikosav arosh v'tor v'bein Yerucham v'teisvis Mordechai v'aguda the halchu urcha de milsa katani. The who adinim halchu meitzin oidlistakir ein
Wie soll soll ja der Abgabe dem Mozin
all
leistake?
seem to hold that it goes both ways.
Yeah, because it's still a headache at the end of the day.
Right? So fine. So according to Nemuki Yosef, he says no, because
When the Balabos says, hey, go next door, it's still a headache.
yeah. So that's what they hold. Where the Nemuki Yosef holds, no, there's a difference. Now, by the way, the reason that's why the Nemuki Yosef brings those whole cases.
In a Lomdische Weg, what we're saying is like this. The machloikis is not whether it's a headache or not. The machloikis is, the Matthias, it is a shtickle headache. The machloikis is that headache
Is it enough of a headache?
Is enough to constitute tarumas, and the other one said to say headache. That's the other thing is a headache.
Right, the other ones they say a headache is a headache.
Yeah, and the other say no, because headache is not just the fact that it's the embarrassment. The balabos has to go next door and embarrass himself looking for workers to another geschäft. What is he telling them? He's telling the other balabos, do you have any spare workers? Well, isn't that embarrassing?
What happened? What you do? What, you don't have workers? You couldn't
well,
find
you don't have workers? That's the geschäft did. You know, you don't have it together. You know what I'm saying? It's embarrassing.
You need the number for the gemach. What the right?
Yeah, it's embarrassing. Mashain Kane, a worker, he's inferior.
A worker, it's normal for a worker to be walking around looking for work.
Looking for work is not an embarrassment.
Not embarrassing.
So headache is tied up.
A headache is Dr. Nemuki Yosef is relative.
Right, exactly. I think what Nemuki Yosef says, it's like this headache, that's a headache. But when we're talking about over here a headache which is coupled with embarrassment, that is tarumas.
Right.
But who's sagen, no? And who says this?
Or coupled with something else, like in the case of the ship.
Yeah.
But stam any headache doesn't mean it's a headache. Isn't stam any headache is not grounds for grievance. There's meaning the Muki is saying there are some headaches which are grounds for a grievance, and there's some headaches which are not grounds for a grievance. Well, if he's there,
yeah,
according to these other guys, this whole bunch of other guys, other than not the Nemuki Yosef.
Yeah.
The afal gav the matronly stock. We have to say that even though Taka they found other work, mikol makin teirach miko ika miho ika, but there's It's a bother, and it doesn't make a difference what kind of bother. A bother is a bother.
Yeah.
A tircha is a tircha, which is why he's explaining, which is why we're saying here that it's because of the tircha. The whole thing he's trying to explain is why are we saying here that it's tircha? Why don't we just say because it's? And so he explains, because they're holding that a tircha is a tircha.
100%.
Does it have to be the specific type of tircha?
And if you'll tell me, well, anyway, these people are matriach to, what do you call it, the matriach, to go to work anyway, to look for work always. The tircha over here is that they already looked for work and they already found work.
Right,
With
and
you.
now
You're making them look a second time. That constitutes tircha.
Right.
Even if they are, even
There's
if they're
no
hurgala.
embarrassment. There's no embarrassment. We're not.
No,
We're not.
but it's
We're
an
not
extra.
going to be metallic between that.
Of course not, because he says at the end of the day they already did their share of ishtadlus to look for work, and now it's
Yeah. V'chein kosva taisvis v'zel l'sheni. Umikol makim yesh olav taromes. Even so, they have on the balabas a complaint. Why? They're only going to find it by troubling themselves.
yeah.
Malon.
1 second. Yeah, continue.
Achamash Malon, als de imkein, mij de parch bishas, de perche omnin gabi svina, ieder kom mashkach la guri am mais taromis. That by the boat, so
Yeah.
if he
I understand the question. The question is like this: if you're telling me that double headaches constitutes tarumas, what does the Gemara ask over there in the case of the ship?
why is it asking am my taromis?
Because they have to look again for another passenger.
Right. So
that's why.
According to this, right? According to what you just said, because it's a tircha, finished. Why by this?
Ein Minute, it's nicht Stammatirche. It's nicht Stammatirche, it's more than that. What constitutes a tirche for a poil is not to look for work. To look for work is normal for a poil.
Right, but his question here now is you're saying that works according to the Nemuki Yosef, what you just said.
Yeah.
Why? The Nemuki Yosef differentiates between a headache and a double headache.
Yeah.
But these guys, they don't differentiate between a headache and a double headache. So then what's the question of the Gemara over there? That the Gemara says that if he finds another worker, why is there a tircha? I mean, why is there a grievance? What grievance is there? He found another guy. Right? And he's and
by the way,
what does the Gemara answer there? The Gemara answers there because Shinui Das. Why doesn't the Gemara answer their tircha?
Right. By the way, I don't think. I mean, you could argue with me because I haven't given it thought. Mamish, like now. Do you notice over here? How did we define tircha? We defined it by being matriach the guy, the poil 2 times, right? Remember that the poil.
Well, that's according to the Nemuki Yosef.
I think the Nemuki Yosef, right? And right, but so. Are you going to ask on the Nemuki Yosef on the Sfina also? Why?
No, because the Nemuki Yosef we already answered. We answered that, or he holds like Rashi that a Sfina is different, and therefore by a Sfina, it's more tircha, and this is less tircha.
Right.
Or you could say that here we're talking about a case where he didn't get used to it, and by the Sfina we're talking about a case that he did get used to it. So it's more of a tircha.
More of a tircha.
According to these other guys,
they say that what?
They hold a tircha is a tircha. We don't differentiate between levels of tircha. And
so even if you have somebody else,
there's a grievance.
Right. So
That's what all these guys hold. If there's a tircha, there's a grievance.
Even if he finds another person,
No,
even
only if it's a tircha that's embarrassing or a tircha
no,
that's
they don't say that. They don't say that.
they
They
don't
say
say
a
that.
tircha is a tircha.
Right.
So no, but but the fact that he finds somebody else, it doesn't offset that tircha according to that or
So
not?
according to the Muki Yosef, it depends. According to here, no.
According to here,
Yeah, I they found somebody else, but they had to be matriach it's atzmam to find somebody else.
right.
So according to this, so now he's asking. So according to these all these guys, how are you touching up the question of the Gemara there? According to the Muki Yosef, it makes good sense,
Yeah.
right? Because there's different levels of tircha. So the Gemara is asking if he's finding another guy, why is there a grievance if he found somebody else? And the Gemara there has to answer
Yoshinu does.
Kashinu das. Why doesn't the Gemara answer like you guys are answering? Mishum tircha. So the Gemara sits better with the Nemuki Yosef. It doesn't sit good with these guys.
You don't think you could ask? You could answer that good. It's tircha, but since he found somebody right away, there's no element of tircha. If not, that you say,
No, but that's the whole question of the Gemara there.
yeah.
In the case of the Gemara, he found somebody right away.
So the Gemara knew that.
Yeah.
The,
And yet the Gemara asks, why does he have to a grievance? And the Gemara has to answer Shinu Das. So wait a second. If you
oh,
guys
how Gufa is given the cash from the Gemara. We found that schon gefunden einem. You already found somebody, right?
you found a new guy.
So why should it be tircha? Why should it be? Yeah.
Why should it be what do you call it, right? So according to the Muki Yosef, it comes out good because they're answering it's not just tircha, it's
Yeah.
also tircha and shinu das.
Right.
Right? Either because they got used to it already, or because a sfina intrinsically has a shinu is harder.
Right.
But according to these guys, it doesn't sit well. So the Gemara could have just answered mishum tircha.
Right.
Right? So inside, the imkain my parich b'shas. So according to these guys, then why are we asking the Gemara gabi svina?
Yeah.
Mashkach lagura my islay taromes. The lavko mashmach lagura kula agra boy shalumi. That the Gemara asks, wait a second, if he found somebody, why should he have even a complaint? If he didn't find somebody, then he has a monetary complaint.
Right. That was the cash over there.
So he should have answered there. According to you guys, he should have answered there because there's a tircha in finding a new guy.
Yeah.
But we see it doesn't answer that there. It could be answered in a pushing way.
You mean the Gemara? If they made it, the Gemara would have said over there that he did find one, but he doesn't say that.
Right.
But Ilu Yetzuye wollte so geantwortet, Demos would have been good, no? According to all the others, that if he would have said that they did find one taka, but through Alidei Atchak, so then there is an element of Torah over there, and it would have worked out well according to everyone.
Right, and then so and that's what it looks like. He ends off here with.
Yeah.
However, it would seem that when he
Moida
managed
Aposkim
able
and
to
his Korim
find with no tzricha at all, that in such a case, all of those poskim would be made it to the Nemuki Yosef that you don't have even a complaint if you mamish found easy.
And after minute Bashi Tarumas, they in him Kotzes Pam Shnia, Kedelil. If he had to do a second time, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean say if he had to look for workers a second time?
He was talking about Shimam and base. It's right here.
Shin Dalet Beis, Sif Cotton Chav Beis.
It's on the previous page.
Sif Cotton Chav Beis.
Okay, so it's on what? It's on.
Yeah. It's going שחוזר במפל תחילו ובוטלה סחירוס אלו שימן לכם כזה דיברו רוצים נגמר המלוכה וחוזר בוי ואומר בפרש אין נותן לכם אלו סך פלני ומדעת את תנאי זה this is Chav Beis in the Shach, right? It refers to here, to Shelamed Gimel Sif Dalet.
It's not a mother. Ich mechakim deim balabas am befeirish ein nis nachem elo kach. Ja, so leiter. Misal gav de chazer beisu ein nis nel kemisham.
I think we'll have to.
Yeah, it's a whole other another sugi.
Yeah, the button for me.
Anyway,
So,
but
Goyach, sehr fein gelernt.
okay, very good. Yeah.
Yeah, Baruch Hashem, it was quite involved, that whole Sfin, that Shach.
Yeah.
Yeah, sehr gut gelernt. Thank you for looking up the Gemara. It was very nice. Thank you. Goyach, Mr. Hashem.
Tomorrow I don't. I'm subbing in the morning.
Okay, so
It's Friday, so we'll be in touch if people are available
later. Okay, so Ken Zain, I don't see it right now. I have to find out tomorrow. It depends how busy I am.
What's it called?
We'll figure it out, as I say.
We'll figure out. Yeah.
Shkoyach, thank you, beautiful. By the way, Shkoyach for the Zach.
And if we don't speak tomorrow, have a good Shabbos.
Yeah.
Yes. Good Shabbos.